Okay, here we go. Okay, one, two, three. This should be synchronized. And there we go. Hi, I'm Bryan Cassady, Director of the Global Entrepreneurship Alliance. We're on a mission to coach, train 1 million entrepreneurs by 2027. Welcome to our new course, How to Pitch Anything to Anyone, Being Who You Are. I'm teaching this course with Charles Hume, one of the best speakers I know. We're excited about this course because being able to pitch is one of the most important skills you need to succeed. Here are some common pieces of advice you might have heard in the past. Stand straight, smile, imagine your audience in their underwear. Use this pitch format, use that one. My guess is the more you look, the more confusing everything becomes. A good pitch grabs attention. It's clear. It asks for action. It's also short. I know you've got a lot to say, but did you know the talk that earned Watson and Crick the Nobel Prize for the discovery of DNA was a little less than 5 minutes long? If they can explain the secret of life in less than 5 minutes, surely you can pitch your ideas in the same amount of time. In this course, you'll learn no matter who you are, the secret is to be yourself and go step by step to create a winning pitch. You'll get a pitch canvas you can use to organize your thoughts before you download that next pitch template. We've already coached thousands of people on how to pitch anything to anyone. This is a fast course, just 1 hour. It is the only course with our proven pitch canvas. When you're done, we have two special gifts waiting for you. You can send us your pitch to get feedback. To make the course easy, we also have an online study guide with all the links in the course. In this guide, you'll find our second gift. In this, you'll find the pitch canvas. And the pitch canvas you can download also at tiny.cc/cycles pitch canvas. And you'll get a blank pitch canvas that looks like this. If you want to learn how to pitch anything to anyone, being who you are, let's get started. Module 1 about this course. Pitching like innovation is a meta skill. A meta skill is a big skill that helps make a lot of other things easier. We want to make you a pitching star. A pitching star grabs people's attention, makes a clear pitch, gets people to take action. This course is a special course because you'll get two teachers, lots of practical examples, and a pitch canvas to help you build a perfect pitch step by step. I'm Bryan Cassady. I'm the lead author of the book Cycles. I love to teach and coach people that want to grow their ideas. I've taught award-winning courses at EdHec, Solvay, Caillou Leuven, plus many more. I've led accelerator programs that coach as many as 1,000 startups in 1 year. At a personal level, I've built 11 successful startups in 6 countries. In every single one of them, they've been, what a bummer. Okay, we're going to start all over again. No, we're not going to start all over again. We've got to this point. So, right. I'm Bryan Cassady. I'm the lead author of the book Cycles. I love to teach and coach people that want to grow their ideas. I've taught award-winning courses at EdHec, Solvay, and the Caillou Leuven, plus many more. I've led accelerator programs and coached as many as 1,000 startups in 1 year. At a personal level, I've built 11 successful startups in 6 countries. In every single one of them, the ability to pitch ideas and get yeses has been critically important. I'm Charles Hume. I'm an author and thought leader with a focus on improving and helping the next generation in the workplace. For the past decade, I've trained and coached the next generation of employees and employers working hard to position themselves strategically in our changing workplace. I'm also a TV presenter and run my own podcast called Breaking the Code. I'm one of the co-authors of the Cycles book. Like Bryan, I've made hundreds of pitches and helped others make better pitches. There are two core deliverables in this course. One, you learn how to pitch better, and two, you learn why you should be yourself when you pitch. And when you're done with this course, you can submit a pitch for personal feedback by experts. Module number 2, why pitching is important. The ability to pitch gets your message across. It presents the real you to the world. It makes things happen. If you can't pitch, it becomes difficult to make things happen. The reality is everyone needs to pitch all the time. And the problem is the best ideas live in our heads and often never get shared or shared poorly. Pitching is important. It determines how people see you and it gets people to take action. Frankly, you can't live without pitching something. The best pitches get people to pay attention to you and your ideas. A good pitch is often the first way people meet you. As they say, first impressions can be everything. A pitch is not everything you can say. Your pitch should give people a mental image of what you're talking about. It's usually a teaser to get people interested, the essentials that open up a deeper conversation. After your pitch, people should be able to make some decisions. Should they take a chance on working with you? Should they take some sort of action? At the most fundamental level, a pitch is about changing or confirming what people think and getting them to take action. You can think about a pitch in the form of the following questions. What do people believe before you talk? And should people believe after you talk? And what action should they take? Your pitch is what comes between point A and point B. Most of the time, your audience wants to get your message, feel your story, and connect. But there's a challenge. Our ideas live in our heads, so there's lots of room for misunderstanding. When you can't communicate what you want to say, it's frustrating for you. But did you ever think about how it's also frustrating for them, your audience? A great pitch is your story in a way others can understand. It makes a connection and it gets people to take action. Effective pitching is a great process because it forces us to focus our thinking. To pitch well, you need to know what are you thinking, what someone else is thinking, how you can share your ideas, and how you can get them to take action. Done right, pitching focuses your thoughts into a short, effective talk. The best pitches help sell your ideas and move things forward. There are lots of great ideas in your head that you haven't pitched yet. When you pitch ideas, the right people will understand why and be able to make a decision to do something. They are the key to moving your ideas forward. It's important to remember people first buy into you before they buy your product or service. So it's always better to tell people who you are, what problems you've solved in the past, and what value do you bring to the table. When they see you as someone that knows their planes, they will rate with you and know you're on their side. How you pitch and share your ideas will also determine how people see you. A good pitch gets your message across, presents you to the world. It links thinking to action. As I said earlier, if you can't pitch, it's harder to make things happen, and people will be less impressed by you and your ideas. Here's a great quote to help you think about the essence of pitching. A good pitch is a little less talk and a little more action. Module 2. Module 3. Who needs to pitch? Everyone pitches all the time, so you need to pitch as well. You don't need to be a superhero. You need to be you. People like people that are real, authentic, vulnerable, present, and passionate. You can be you, and you can be great. From the kid who needs to tell their parents about why they should be part of the next summer camp with their classmates, to the young entrepreneur who has a brilliant idea and must sell it to get funding, to a guy who proposes to his girlfriend, to anyone trying to say, work with me, I'm the best in my field. Everybody is pitching all the time. You need to pitch yourself to get your ideas heard. We often forget it is the you that's almost always more important than the idea. In your pitch, people need to understand and connect with you. You don't need to be a superhero when you pitch. You need to be you. Being you is about being authentic. When you write your next pitch, sit down and figure out what makes you unique. Even if they use the same words, Picasso and Steve Jobs would pitch the same things differently. They're both Star communicators, because when they talk from their hearts. People could feel their words were authentic and real. You, me, we all have that personal touch. Be you, and you'll be better received. It doesn't matter if you're an introvert or an extrovert. You got to let your personality shine because people buy into you before they buy your product, service, or idea. The good news is if you're being you, then you are being honest with your audience. A part of being honest is admitting no matter how smart you are, you don't have all the answers. Nobody likes the person who knows everything. We all have our personal insecurities. Even Steve Jobs got nervous before his talk. Henry Fonda, one of the greatest actors of all time, got sick before every play he did. When you are nervous, remember you're being authentic, and people like authentic people. If you're vulnerable, you're probably there in the moment, but you need to think about consciously being there. If you're not there, people will know it and they will lose interest fast. When people think about pitching, they often ask, do I need a pitch deck? You do not. And let me repeat, do not need a pitch deck to make a pitch. In fact, many of the best pitches are without a pitch. What you do need is something to say and ask for. Your pitch deck isn't the magic. The magic is what you have to say and how you say it. According to Myers-Briggs, introverts make up 51% of the US population. If you're an introvert, don't worry, you're in good company. Just relax, be you, and focus on what you have to say. Most importantly, be there, be in the present, be you. How do you check if you're there? Well, first, are you a bit excited about talking? Do you feel connected to your audience? And are you being authentic and really you? Let's look at how authenticity can make the world rally around your idea with a popular example from Greta Thunberg. I'm sure many of you have heard of her. So let's watch her for a second and see what we can learn. You'll see she is just being herself. Okay, so you'll have to put this inside. Great is a great example of how someone doesn't need to be a great speaker to speak well. She is authentic and she has a real message. As we said earlier, be you, be vulnerable, and have something to say, and your pitch will be great. Another module, uh, how to do it. 10 ways to get your pitch right. Earlier, we covered why pitching is important and the role of you in the pitch. This last bit will cover how to get your pitch right. A pitch is not just to sell something. A pitch can be a way to share information, get people to take any sort of action. Quite simply, a pitch is about sharing information to get people to take action. This can be a formal pitch or simply a talk. A good pitch is thoughtful. Here are a few questions to ask before you prepare your pitch. What are your objectives? What do you know that you should share? What do you think is the right next step? And why? Most importantly, a good pitch is about getting people to do the right things. Remember, doing the wrong thing right or wrong will always get you more wrong. Your pitch is your opportunity to get people to do the right things. What makes a good pitch? They're, they grab attention, they're clear, they generate action, and they're short. This talk is about 10 ways to speak better in a short pitch. John Gottman is famous in the US for his ability to predict marriage success rates in 5 minutes or less with 90% accuracy. It probably doesn't make him fun at parties, but it shows a lot can be communicated quickly. Business ideas are even easier to assess. You gotta use your 5 minutes well. In pitching, less is more. Why would you say just 5 minutes? The reason is it's because people lose interest if you talk much longer. They get bored, and you definitely don't want people bored with what you have to say. Here are 10 ways to get the right stuff in your pitch quickly and effectively. The starting point of any great presentation is the content. Content, what you have to say, is more important than how you say it. You can always learn to be a better presenter, but if the content isn't there, you won't have a good pitch. The first way to get your pitch right is to focus on your content before thinking about styles and tricks. When I work with companies, I spend most of my time getting them to focus on what I call the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps are the problem, the promise, proof, and the payoff. They're the foundations of any good pitch. They explain the problem, the solution, why someone should believe, and why they should make a decision. If you got these two right, there are two more: profit and passion. These wrap up the package. For me, there are 3 warning signs in business pitches. First is the everything is perfect pitch. There are always issues to be resolved. Show you're aware of the issues and you're able to solve them. Second is the confusing pitch. If you can't explain things simply, then you haven't worked hard enough. Any good pitch should be clear enough, even to an 8-year-old. Lastly, there are the long killer presentation. Your final presentation might be long with lots of discussion, but the essence, the core, should never, ever be longer than 10 minutes. One way to make things clear is to focus on the essentials. To do this, I love Mad Libs and checklists. Here from the Founders Institute is a Mad Lib with the essentials of a startup pitch. My company, insert your company name here, is developing the following defined offering to help a target audience solve a problem with the following secret sauce. Try it. Do you really need to say a lot more? Point number 2. All pitches enter via the crocodile brain. The crocodile brain is our brain for emotions. It's the oldest part of our brain. The crocodile brain decides what gets attention and what gets ignored. And most messages, 9 out of 10, get ignored and go to the bin of our brain. How the crocodile brain works is simple. Boring, ignore it. Dangerous, fight, run. Too complicated, ignore or radically simplify. Such a pitch feels wrong. The winning pitch is the one that feels interest, the one that says, I want to know a bit more. As we're working with emotions, there is some simple advice. Get people to feel something, and you're on the right track. Check out how this lady starts with emotion from line number 1. Point number 3, you got to learn to lead with your conclusions. I'd like you to compare the following 2 letters. Imagine you get this letter from Lucy. What does she want to say? Dear Shirley, remember last Saturday afternoon when I was playing in the park with my boyfriend and you came over and he told me that when my back was turned, you kissed him. And also on Sunday when you came to my house and my mom made you a tuna fish salad for lunch and you said, yuck, that's the worst salad I ever ate. And yesterday when my cat brushed against your leg, you kicked her and threatened to sick your dog Monster on her. Well, for all of these reasons, I hate you and I no longer want to be your friend. Lucy. Wouldn't the message be clearer if it was presented in a short, concise manner like the following? Shirley, I hate you. Here are my reasons. You stole my boyfriend. You insulted my mother. And you scared my cat. Your presentation can be organized in the same way. Start with your conclusions and then fill in the detail. Catch their attention. Get in that crocodile brain. You can start your presentation a traditional way. Okay. Who here has ever had an issue with XYZ? Okay, you ask your people to raise their hands. That's right. And actually nobody ever raises their hands. Or here's how we built and we analyzed our market. If we get a just 1% share, that is a big yawn. A better way is to shorten it into an organized format, as you can see. I'm here today to talk about a solution to the following problem. Here are 3 reasons why you'll want to invest in our solution. Here comes another Mad Lib for you. You should. This is the way that you catch their attention. And here are 3 reasons why. Point number 4 is about starting strong. Research has shown that people usually decide on a pitch within the first 10 seconds and spend the rest of the time reconfirming their impressions. Rarely do their opinions change, so you got to have a strong start to your pitch. Let's watch this guy to understand point number 4. So do you grab your attention? In a similar way, look for a killer way to start your pitch to grab hold of your audience. Here is Mad Lib number 3. Opening. Catch their attention. So, what this means to your audience. Why should they care? You'll see time and time again, I'm talking about starting your presentation strong, starting with something that grabs people's attention. When you start right, you're already halfway there. Point number 5 is you cannot assume that people will understand what you have to say. Assuming you're able to catch the people's attention at the start of the presentation, you got to do something else more important. You need to explain clearly what you want and why. The most common reason people say no is that they just don't understand. So it's not the quality that you need to worry about here, but the clarity of your idea. Here's a quick test. Imagine you're driving on the road at 70 miles an hour. You're hungry and looking for a restaurant. Your kids are crying in the back. You see this sign. What is it? Frankly, I have no idea. In advertising, in pitching, confusion is not a good strategy for success. You can be cute. You can be creative, but don't lead it to confusion. Instead, imagine you see this line. You step on the brakes. You're ready to eat. When you pitch, you got to follow the golden rule of clarity. Let someone say no because what you offer doesn't apply to them. But never, ever let somebody say no because they don't understand your idea. Put all your ideas into simplifying and clarifying your pitch. You saw this slide earlier in Charles' talk. It's so important. I have to repeat it here. You saw this slide earlier in Charles' talk. It's so important that I've chosen to repeat it here. Here's how you can check the clarity of your message. What do people believe before you talk? What should people believe after you talk? And what action should they take? Your pitch is what comes between point A and point B. If your pitch is not getting them from point A to point B, you don't have clarity. Point number 6. A story is a great way to get people interested. It's also the most powerful way to get people to remember. You can structure your story like this. You have the beginning to shine the light. You shape the middle around some sort of struggle. You end with a resolution that ignites and sparks interest. Watch this pitch and see how he brings in a story. People love stories. Point number 7. You need to make numbers your friend and not be afraid of them. Numbers can make things talk and make things concrete. First, I have a word of advice. Never, ever do a top-down market estimate. Make your numbers real. Things like, if everyone in China sent me $1, or I get just 1% of market ABC, I'll be rich, are not arguments that convince anyone. Watch how this guy uses numbers. He doesn't say there's 42 billion cups of coffee sold per year. Our idea is so great, 1% of those cups will be ours. He starts at the bottom and he builds his story up. Practice is more important than repetition. Good practice is deliberate. If you want to get things right, you need to practice. You try different openings, you try different supporting arguments, you try different calls to action, you try and you learn. Feedback is critically important, but usually we ask for the wrong feedback. Imagine you pitched your great idea to your mom. She'll almost always answer, that's great, son, or great daughter. Instead, try the following. Mom, I know you love me. Please, please tell me if this idea failed. Why did it fail? That's what experts do. A study by Finkelstein and Fishbach found that novice communicators focus on positive feedback, while experts seek and relish with negative feedback. I'll bet this guy's mom would even tell him, hey, diet water, that's a great idea. Well, I mean, the truth is, it's not such a bad idea. I just love the example. Now comes the most important thing you need to know about the process. You got to keep working till things get simpler. We all have had great and less great teachers. Great teachers work hard to make things simple. Lousy teachers share all the complexity in their mind with you. It's the same with your pitch. When you finish it, it's probably about as complex as it will ever be. A great pitch is cut, it's reduced, it's shaved down, simplified. You need to put in the work to make it simple to go from the top of the curve down to the bottom of the curve where people want to listen to you. Here's a great quote to summarize this point. Dear so-and-so, I apologize for the length of this letter. If I'd had more time, it would have been shorter. It's the same with a pitch. If you're doing a long pitch, which lacks clarity, you haven't put in the time and the effort. Put in the time. Make it better and better. Last but not least, you need to end your pitch with passion and with a call to action. If you're not passionate, how can you expect your audience to be? In the beginning, in the middle, and especially the end, you need passion. Passion wakes people up. Passion gives people a reason to buy into your vision. Great communicators talk with passion. They get you on their side. When you hear Martin Luther King talk, it's hard to imagine someone that doesn't want to share the dream with him. Here's a simple recipe to follow for the closing of your next pitch. In one sentence, write down what you want people to do, and then provide 3 solid supporting arguments. That's where your presentation is going to end. If you're making a pitch using slides, think about the last line of your talk. What can you, or rather should you, leave up on the screen? For me, the message is, you can pitch anything to anyone being who you are. Pitching can be fun. You can have some fun. Let your passion shine through. If you're not passionate, your audience sure won't be. As I said earlier, I love checklists. Checklists are a powerful way to make sure you're doing the right things. Here's my pitch checklist. Are you grabbing people's attention up front? What do you want and why should they listen for the next 5 minutes? Have you covered the 6 P's? Are you being the real you? And do you close with a clear, specific ask? And most importantly, could an 8-year-old understand your presentation? If not, you need to work more. Work harder. Make things even simpler. Good luck in making your next pitch. We have 2 modules. The next gives you a chance to evaluate some other people's pitches, and the final module will give you easy-to-use tools to help you make a great pitch. Now's the time to put some ideas into action. Module Pitch Evaluations. Our hope is you've learned a lot in this course. Now is the time to apply what you've learned. We've put together a collection of pitches of varying quality. We'd like to use our pitch evaluation form to evaluate them. This will help reinforce some of what you've learned. It will also make you familiar with the pitch evaluation form so you can use it on your own pitches. First, an introduction. Here's our pitch evaluation form. It exists as a Google Sheet and a Google Form template. There are 10 questions about the content and 1 about the speaker. The first 10 have a maximum score of 10 each. The speaker question has a max score of 50. A perfect score would be 150. Something over 110 would be a great pitch. We'd like you to evaluate 6 pitches. As noted earlier, this exists in both as a Google Form and a Google Sheet, but for this exercise, you'll need to use Google Sheets because we can't compare 6 entries in Google Form. Here's how you do things. You go to this link, tiny.cc/pitch evaluations. You'll be asked to make a copy of the sheet, then evaluate each of the pitches one at a time. Note, all the pitches have been put online as examples of good pitches, so there's nothing horrible here, but some are better than others. See what you think. How do you do it? For each video, click on the ring, watch the video, then come back to the evaluation form, or simply watch the following videos put together. Answer each of the 10 questions on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. Note, you should take some time to answer the open question. You'll see even great pitches can be improved. Here will be the 6 pitch videos, blah, 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 blah. Module, pitch evaluations. Our scores of the pitches. Want to know what scores we gave to the pitches? Here we go. Ready for the drum roll. This is how we rated the pitches. The top score we gave was to No Words. The Danger of a Single Story was number 2. Kids Need Recess was number 3. These all scored over 110 as winners in the pitch competition. Let me give you a few feedback notes about the different presentations. A bridge for the unemployed. They had a good start of a story, but they didn't explain why they are the solution. There is an issue, but frankly, are they the solution? The Danger of a Single Story was a great talk. There was lots of why, less about the how. A little more about how to do things would have made this talk simply amazing. Kids Need Resets. He had the audience in his hand from the opening story. A bit too many facts and figures for me. Less facts and a shorter and clearer call to action would probably help. Mosquito Research Solutions was a bit too long for me. In fact, this was only 3 minutes long, but I'm betting that you started losing patience. Imagine a day when you're the judge evaluating pitches and you're seeing your 40th pitch during the day. Be clear, be short. Here, a strong focus and action would also make the pitch better. Indiatics, they had a great intro and did a great job at making something complex so simple. Too top down for me, a huge market doesn't mean invest. If this video was important to the company, a different filming and tone might also be in order. Frankly, I love this one. He showed that you can pitch even without words. Here are the detailed scores we gave. You'll see how we got to the numbers we got at. I'm sure yours are different. This is just a guideline. If you really did this work, there's probably not a single pitch where you could not have found ways to improve. Imagine if you got 5 people to evaluate your pitch in the same way. If you do the same with your own pitches and really ask for feedback, your pitches will get better and better. You can use the first link to get your pitch evaluated by your peers, and use the second link, you can get your pitch evaluated by us. Last module. Now is the time to get started. The way to build a great pitch is to go step by step. There is a 5-step process. We've built a pitch canvas to help you with the first 3, and a feedback form to help you with the step number 5. I'd like to show you how to use our pitch canvas step by step. Getting started is easy. Go to tiny.cc/cycles-pitch-canvas, and you'll get a blank pitch canvas that looks something like this. The pitch canvas can be used for a 5-minute pitch or a longer presentation like this course, but frankly, it's a bit harder for this course. Let me show you what I might have filled in as I was making if I'd used this template for this course. I'm going to do this one again. This pitch canvas can be used for a 5-minute pitch or a longer presentation like this course. But frankly, it's a bit harder for a long course like this. In this example, I'm going to show you what I might have filled in if I was using the pitch template for this course. The start is getting your introduction right. Why is this important to you? We're passionate about helping people be better innovators. The ability to pitch is key to making things happen. What's the goal of your pitch? To convince people that they don't need to be a great speaker to make a great pitch. They just need to go step by step, get feedback, and be authentic when they talk. What does your audience believe before the pitch? You need to be a super speaker to make great pitches. What should your audience believe after the pitch? They can make great pitches if they're willing to put in the work. Your pitch, or in this case, our course, is what happens this time. Both Charles and I believe the key to do this was to demonstrate the process and show you practically how to do this with a live example. The question we had was, how would we catch people's attention? We decided how to pitch anything to anyone being who you are, why it's a big problem, and it's counterintuitive for many people. They think they need to be someone else. Using up to three supporting arguments. First, we chose, you might be confused, but it is an easy step-by-step process. 2, what is needed in a pitch is not that much. Grab attention, be clear, ask for action. 3, if Watson and Crick could pitch The Secret in Life in 5 minutes, your pitch should be easy. The checkpoint number 1 is this compelling and interesting? For many, yes. And if it wasn't, well, you probably wouldn't be here right now. For us, the guts, the heart, the soul of any pitch are the 4 Ps. I've used this formula so many times, it's almost second nature to me. What is good about this method is that it forces you to start with what the audience has in mind and then be very explicit about what you're offering. The problem: speaking publicly, pitching can be scary, but it's something we all need to do. Our promise is a simple step-by-step process where being you can pitch anything to anyone. The proof is these guys have trained a lot of people and the process looks easy. The payoff, you'll be the person who makes things happen. You'll be able to sell your ideas. Profit, it will be one of the best investments of an hour of your time that you will ever make. Passion, we want everyone to be able to pitch better. Checkpoint number 2. Is the problem, benefit, reason to believe clear? Is there a compelling payoff? If this is a business pitch, is there evidence that you can make a profit? I think we check all of those. This is the tough one to fill out now. We are not at the end of this course, but I need to tell you where it's going to end. I don't think there'll be any big surprises. I put in here, you can pitch anything to anyone, but you need to do the work. There has never been a better time than to start now. Start applying what you learn. Pitching is critically important in all you do. What you've learned is fresh in your head now. Practice now to be perfect later. So let's jump to the close of this pitch. Checkpoint number 3. Can anyone understand why they should take the action you're suggesting? My call to action is start applying what you've learned. I can only hope this is 110% clear. Learning is not a spectator sport. You could read every book in the world about how to ride a bike, but it is not the same as riding a bike. If you want to learn something, you need to go out and do it. Pitching is the same thing. We've given you advice, but advice is only good if you use it. You got to take action today. Take a pitch you're working on. Go through our template. It will show you how you start well. It will clarify your thinking. It will make things easy. And if you do it, you can get free feedback on your pitch. Do it now, my friend. Let me repeat. Do it now. I know what you're thinking. I've just finished this course and you want me to work more. Now, yes, now is the time to take action. Why? The ideas are fresh in your head. 1 hour invested now will save you hundreds later. Here's the feedback form for your pitch. You can visit the link to get this for free. And this is my last slide. I hope you've enjoyed this talk about pitching ideas. If you do the work, you'll be great at it. You truly can pitch anything to anyone, being who you are. Here's a bonus module on how to use our pitch evaluation template. We've created a Google form you can easily update to get feedback on your pitches. Here's how you do it, step by step. Step number 1, go to tiny.cc/GEA-pitch-form and create your own template copy. You upload your pitch, add a few details about your pitch, share it with people and get feedback. Then, most importantly, you improve your pitch using the feedback you get. Now's the time. Apply what you learn. If you're doing something innovation, follow this layout to do an innovation pitch, follow this to do a startup pitch. Here's links to all the things. And here's a feedback form for your pitch. You can visit the link to get this for free.